What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading. Hope everybody out there is doing good today. If you're trading in the market, hopefully you had a nice green day. If you're just watching this because you enjoy the content, I hope you had a great day as well. Today, we actually got started a little late in the market. I had some other obligations. Get it out. I had some other obligations that we needed to take care of this morning, and wasn't able to trade the open, but we were still able to get two trades in, both being green. We didn't hit our target today. We didn't hit our daily goal, but I was disciplined enough to not take any more trades. I was good with the trades that we did take, and just didn't really see any other opportunities that presented themselves. So let's go ahead, take a look at the thumbnail watch list. We'll take a look, see what's on there. We actually didn't have any additional stocks on there, just the five that I'm gonna start calling those, as well as the market. And as you can see, most of the charts somewhat mimic the market. These five here are all NASDAQ stocks, so they are all going to be traded in the QQQ EFT. And if we look, Apple looks pretty close to the Qs. Facebook, close to the Qs. Microsoft, pretty close to the Qs. Pullbacks might be just a little off. Only two that were noticeably different was AMD and NVDA. And we ended up trading AMD today. Took two trades. One of them wasn't much room in it, and we got out when it showed that we needed to get out, even though the move did continue down. And then we just took another trade on it, and we ended up closing the day after those two trades. But let's go ahead, we'll get Trader View pulled up, and then we'll get the charts pulled up. Get over on the right screen. There we go. So like I said, and again, I didn't mention it, but these trades are for March 22nd, Tuesday. Took two trades, closed P&L $52. First trade that we took, we only made $12 on this trade. And like I said, we'll look at the chart on that one and we can kind of see why. Second one, we only bought one contract and we made $40. This one here, we bought two contracts and we made $12. So let's go ahead, get the charts pulled up, and we can get these two reviewed. And this is going to be a pretty quick day today. These reviews shouldn't take long at all. So let's see. We're looking for AMD. Go ahead, pull that up. And these trades here, the first trade that we took was at 1142. Like I said, I wasn't even at my desk when the market opened this morning, so I missed any early opportunities. Got back to my desk around 11:30, popped open the computer and just trying to see what we can find. And we found this trade. Let's see, we got in at 1142. So we would have been getting in on this candle right here. And we were getting in at the bottom of it, getting in at 1142 and 40. So I'm going to just drop it right there. So we see this here opened, just hugging the VWAP, came up, came back down, and it set a new lower high. So this here was a sign to me that this move here was over. So we have stage one areas of a trade where it's just kind of flat. Then you got the stage two where it's kind of uptrending. Stage three where it's kind of just going flat across the top. And then you get stage four when it's going back down again. And that's somewhat the cycle of a chart. You got the consolidation, stage one. Then you have stage two, where it's in this uptrend. Stage three, where it's just chopping along the top. You may get a couple of M tops, or you may get three. And then you get the stage four. So this was, to me, the sign of the stage four happening. So I took two contracts right here. Stop was going to be up there. And we see that the VWAP was right here. So this had really no room to go. And we got out of these at 11.49. Sold both of them at the same time. So let's see where 11.49 is. 11.49 is that candle right there. So this came down, kind of just chopped along, and we got out of it. But look at that. We got a top and tail. We got a top and tail. Those there are kind of signs that the sellers still got control of this. But we got out because it was kind of fighting against the VWAP. But we see what it did. It finally broke VWAP and made the move down. So had we stayed in it with our stop there and just being dedicated to taking a full stop, or we set our stop to break even once it got down here, we possibly could have made some more money on that trade. But again, VWAP was kind of holding up, so we were like, all right, let's get out of this. At the time of the trade, I really wasn't paying attention that this was a top and tail. So that's giving me confirmation that the sellers are still in it. Kind of take a peek at the 5 minute up here, and those candles don't really tell much. They're more so of almost a little doji, and then we got out at the doji. So that was our first trade, and then we took our second trade on AMD. And of course, that was playing a put. We were playing it to go down. Second trade that we got in, 11.51. Let's see where 11.51 is at. Right there. And it's actually on this candle. And real time, I was getting in as this candle broke the low of that candle. So this here pretty much was consolidating right along the VWAP after it had set this little small tail off of the first move. Then it consolidated. Didn't want to get into this trade here until this broke the low of that candle. So hold on, just for sake, we're gonna put the arrow right where it would have been. So that's where it would have been getting into this trade with the stop up here. And that's why we only bought one contract. Because again, if I need to give it a little extra room, I'll just take the one contract. Because had I taken two contracts and put the stop up here and this trade goes against me, I'm going to stop out for more than what I would want to take on a stop. So in that case, I just buy one contract and I give it a little extra room. And Dale always likes to do that while I am making these recap videos. But again, getting in here, we'll give it extra room, put the stop up there. We see that this never came back up. This here shows why I didn't put it on the VWAP, because we see this came back up. This right here was to shake out those people that use the VWAP as their stop. Came back up, left this top and tail, bam. So that's why I did not use the VWAP. I'll give it extra room to the top side, because had I used VWAP, would have got stopped out of that trade most likely. But got in there at 11:51, and we got out of this one at 12 o'clock. We got out on this candle right here, 12 o'clock and 31 seconds. Right there. So this did make a little pop further down, but we made $40 on this trade. We made $40 on that trade. And if we look, we do see that this did continue to go down. I was done at that time, but just looking at this, if this here would have pulled back to about right there, for anybody that's watching, I would ask, why do you think I say right there? And I'll tell you, that's half of this move. That's half of that move. I like my pullbacks to be halfway of the move, but didn't quite pull back to half. But right here would have been a good entry to get back in this entry right there. Stop at the top of the candle. Taking 2 contracts on that, because that's a clean entry. Only downside is it did not give the full pullback that I would like to see, but still was a decent little pullback. Entry, stop, target's going to be down here somewhere, pretty much 2 lengths of the move of that. So easily would have hit target, and that there made about $1.50 move. So that is how we do that. That is how we do that. And again, like I said, got in late, just wanted to take a couple of trades, wanted to just feel like a trader, which I guess is really not a good thing, because we do this to make money, not to trade. I have to remember that. We do this to make money, not to just trade. So in this case, we did both. We made money and we traded. So I guess I can't be too bad on it. But I'm going to pull up, let's look at the daily real quick on AMD real quick before we wrap this up, just to kind of see how this is forming. And I added one more moving average to my chart today. Go ahead and clear out the arrows. So we just looking at the chart. So on this chart, previously I had the 20, and we see that the 20 has been getting tested. 20's been getting tested. The 200. So the 20 is the red. The 200 is the blue. And I've added a solid teal. So as you know from my other videos, the broken teal is the 50 moving average set to the hourly time frame. This solid teal is also a 50 moving average, but it's set to the daily time frame. And the reason I added that is because I see that it's been getting used. I tried putting the 50 set to the hourly and it didn't work. But the 50 set to just the daily is acting as a pretty reputable moving average. We see today the high came right up to the 50. The high from yesterday right up to the 50. So initially when I was looking at these charts and I'm seeing that the 20, a couple of times it's broken over the 20 and then pulled back. It broke over the 20 because it was going up to the 50. So had I not put the 50 on here, I would not known that. So this came up to the 50, it pulled back. This one popped up to about the 200, came back down, came up to the 200, and now it's in a little slight uptrend. And I'm just now catching this, but I will tell you today I bought puts in my main account. So my main account, I'll buy options that I'm going to hold at least overnight or for some days. Reason that I bought them is because every time that this has came up to the 50, it's been rejected. Every time from the time that it got below it. So if we come over here, it was trading above it. It came down to the 50, it held, came to the 50, it held. Then it broke through the 50, retest, failed, and it's been below the 50 ever since then. So we see the last 2 days that it has came up against the 50 and the 50 has held it down. So bought 2 puts. We'll see how they play. With these, I'll put the stop just above this so that if it does work against me, I'll just stop out. And that's how we're going to play it. One other thing that I did notice, if you look, the 200 is still on an uptrend, but the 20 and the 50 is on this downtrend. And they kind of converging right here. That 200 is going back above it. But you want these smaller ones to be like how they are stacked up here. You got the 20, the 50, and the 200. You're getting these time frames here about to dip below this 200 moving average. So that's going to be interesting as well. Because these two here like to pull the stock down with it. So these are coming down into a downtrend. These are coming down into a downtrend. Me personally, I would like to see this stock come back down to 100. We see it held. We'll start here. It held here. It held here. It held here. Let's go back over. I don't see any other areas, but it's held here strong, it's held there strong, and it's held there strong. I would like to see this come back down to 100 because I want to buy shares. I'm selfish. I want to buy some shares to hold long term. And if it breaks this 100, then it's going to head down here to about 95 right here. This was another area that kind of held some support. If it does that, then I'll just buy more shares as it's kind of working its way down. But hopefully this right here can hold strong again if it breaks down. But that's the play on it. That's how I'm reading this chart. And I'm about to make another video. Let me bring this back. Sneak preview. Just reviewing. These are the charts that I use in the mornings when I'm looking for my ideas. It's also the charts that I use if I'm looking for swing plays. And just a little quick, and every day I'm always kind of revamping to make my system a little better. So on this side, these time frames are longer term time frames. You got the 4 hour, the daily. These here are going to be for my intraday to see what the patterns are doing. So we got the hourly here. And as you can see, the hourly is in an uptrend. Short term. Hourly is in an uptrend short term. The 5 minute is in a consolidation. It's just in this channel between the 50 and the VWAP, which has smoothed out. But then we come over here to the longer time frames. The 4 hour is clearly in a downtrend. And when I make the video, I'll let you know what this moving average is right here. But you see that this moving average is a good representation moving average. It's testing it there, testing, it broke, came back, retested, came down, a retest here, it broke over peekabooing, failed, retest, fail, retest. Same thing on the daily. The daily is giving us that fail off of the 50. The 4 hour is giving us a fail off of this moving average. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right now, flip it around, and we'll get that other one recorded real quick. And it'll explain to you what these other moving averages are that's on my charts. But if you haven't already hit that like button, please do so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.